Could you tell me a bit about this?
Had it designed by an agency.
And when was that?
Last year.
Is that when you started the business?
Yes, I suppose so.
That's not true, because it's just when you change the name, right? Of course, I don't think he said anything that we can contradict. Maybe when we get down to the third eye stuff, we can. Know anything about scrying mirrors?
Have you ever seen one of these before?
I believe it's a scrying mirror, pagan thing.
Ever used one?
Why would I use a scrying mirror?
So you have no interest at all in this sort of thing?
No,
Does the Atlas course use them at all?
not at all. Strange question.
I don't think it is. If everything being equal that we've found out so far. What about this symbol?
If I did this, would it mean anything to you?
I presume you've seen an Atlas student doing that.
Ah, so this is an Atlas thing.
Well, it wasn't exactly our idea. The students started doing it spontaneously to show commitment to the cause. Cute, really. Which student did you see doing that?
I'm not sure, but he was carving it into a tree. I told him to stop.
Did you really? Why?
Defacing public property.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. What's the punishment for that kind of thing nowadays? Prison sentence?
It's usually a fine.
All right. What about defiling public liberty? Does that carry a fine too?
Oddly enough, the student in question argued a similar point. Is that something you encourage on the Atlas course?
We encourage people who put ideas first and moral anachronisms second. The problem with the law, Inspector, is that it's out of date.
Well, I suppose that's a matter of opinion. However, you still respect it.
Respect it. I abide by it. We all play by the book, Inspector, but that's only because of the threat of possible incarceration.
There's a lot that he said in there that I strongly disagree with. I do think that a lot of the law is out of date, especially concerning digital things. But I don't agree with putting morality second. Maybe if they are anachronistic, as he says, certain things. And I certainly don't agree that people only abide by the law because of the threat of punishment. I think a person's moral fiber, in a lot of instances, would keep them from doing unsavory things, unless they're psychopathic or sociopathic, as I'm beginning to think this man is. What about Liam's death? Are you going to deny having known him?
How well did you know Liam?
Liam who?
Liam, who took his life.
Oh. Well, as far as I remember, he was a good student, confident, outgoing.
You didn't notice any problems?
I believe he had problems at home.
Were you there when he died?
Yes.
And afterwards? You didn't see him after the meeting?
No.
What was Liam like that night?
No. Apart from being drunk, or possibly because of that, he seemed perfectly happy.
He was drunk?
Well, I assume the bottle in his hand contained whiskey and not lemonade.
Lots of similarities to Kate, don't you think? Drinking, depression, is that normal for the students?
People come into the Atlas course for quick solutions to their problems. And when they don't get them as quickly as they might have liked, sometimes their impatience gets the better of them.
Again, very much a shame that we can't cross different people's responses, because dear old dad here just told us that Liam was drinking at the meeting, and his son claims that they don't allow alcohol at Atlas or Third Eye events. I suppose that could have been a cause for them changing the rules, but not sure about that. Tell us about the freedom phrase.
Can you tell me a little about the Atlas phrase, free to be free?
Where did you hear that?
I was talking to one of your students.
It's a little phrase we conjured up to summarize our objectives.
What is your objective, if you don't mind me asking?
Mine, or do you mean the course's objective?
Both.
On the course.
The objective of the course is to free people from bondage. We teach that most people are crippled by their past, by guilt, their attitudes, their beliefs, all that kind of nonsense.
Guilt cripples people.
Feeling guilty in business is like a meat eater feeling guilty in an abattoir. Guilt comes from the archaic emotional centers of the brain. It's a vestige of our animal ancestry, that's all. In business, you heed it at your peril. I'm sorry, Inspector. My house appears to be haunted. Would you mind closing the door?
So, you believe that guilt has no place in business?
None at all. I have few beliefs, Inspector, but that's one of them.
And what if you have done something wrong?
Well, that's the whole point. Guilt has nothing to do with it.
Interesting opinion.
Okay, very flawed logic there. I'm personally of the opinion, and it may even be provable, that guilt is a uniquely human thing. I don't think animals have guilt. Those that are non-sentient. Could be wrong about that, but in that case, then guilt is not a result of our animal pasts. It's a result of us rising above the animals. But I guess that really doesn't pertain to actually solving this case, so do you partake, sir?
Know what this is, by any chance?
I've no idea. Gardening isn't my kind of thing. Rebecca would probably know. I presume you've met Rebecca.
Yes, I am.
I'm sure she'd enjoy telling you what it is. She's the kind of woman who likes to feel superior. Would probably marry a millionaire and then decide to run her own pub.
Yes, why was that?
Well, she isn't exactly housewife material. She likes to be in control, like Ryan. Shame, isn't it, that I'm in control of both of them?
Funny that you should say all that, because personally, you strike me as a man who likes to feel superior. Ever heard of Salvia divinorum?
Have you ever heard of Salvia divinorum, or magic mint?
Sounds like it might be a drug.
It's a hallucinogenic plant. Legal, as a matter of fact.
I'm not a drug taker, Inspector. I have no enthusiasm for voluntarily poisoning your brain.
And you've never seen anyone on the course taking it?
Well, if someone had, they wouldn't have done it openly. We don't allow drugs or alcohol in our course.
Gotcha.
We like to tell the students that success is the best drug. Whether you buy into that, of course, is another matter.
Yep, there is our contradiction for the alcohol. Glad you slipped up there, sir. Because you said Liam had been drinking at your seminar.
Aha. So if you don't allow drink or drugs onto the site, why did you allow Liam to drink whiskey all night?
Well, we did give him various warnings. Did try to stop him, but didn't work.
But you let him stay on the course?
Yeah, well, we couldn't throw him out. This isn't a primary school, Inspector. We're not the police. We can't enforce these rules.
Can't you?
If they pay their fees, they're entitled to stay on the course.
And what if they want to take drugs?
As long as they do it with discretion, frankly, I don't care if they want to wipe or inject paint stripper all over their faces.
Do you store any alcohol at Atlas?
No.
Is there a kitchen?
Why, do you want to go down there and check?
Well, obviously you wouldn't mind if what you're saying is true.
Of course I wouldn't mind. It's past the lavatories down the corridor, but you won't find any drugs in there or alcohol.
What about the alcohol
Whether I find alcohol at Atlas or not, it probably isn't particularly relevant. But it's worth a look anyway.
That's true, though I doubt it would be stored in the kitchen. Where was the... Unless his son was just drinking water? It certainly seemed like he was drinking alcohol, though, during our interview with him. See, we did that, so Third Eye Flyer is it, and there should be a contradiction here, I think.
What do you know about this?
So you've been graced with Goebbels' company already, have you? James, our local minister for propaganda. I suppose Ryan already told you about our actual previous incarnation.
He explained, yes.
Did he tell you anything scandalous?
Not unless you count the suicide.
Oh. These things happen.
Was it your idea?
The suicide?
Third eye.
Yeah, I suppose it was. As my son had started to atrophy, I decided I ought to give him something to do.
And Third Eye was the same as Atlas, teaching business skills.
Very similar.
So Liam's death didn't prompt you to make any changes?
There was nothing we could do about Liam's death, Inspector, any more than we could do anything about Kate's. It was out of our control.
You can't blame me for wondering, Paul. 2 student deaths in 2 years.
It's called a coincidence, Inspector. I expect they ate fast food also. But you're not investigating all the local chippies, are you?
Well, his son claims it was his idea, that he's the creative one. So, unfortunately, I don't think that there is a contradiction in this with what was said earlier. He didn't deny this being who they were, so I can't really catch him on anything there. Maybe the Third Eye, very similar to Atlas, can be contradicted with the mask, since they have the same symbol? No? Let's take the mask. There still could be something there, just not that particular thing. It was your idea, but you haven't seen this mask before? Okay. All right, well, thank you, sir. Wish I could say it's been a pleasure, but it has distinctly not.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
So where is this on the map?
I get the feeling I might be seeing a lot of Paul tonight.
Oh, Brandon House is where he lives, and behind there is where the garage is. And Jenks feels that we're going to be seeing a lot of Paul tonight. Alright, still a lot to do. Just as a heads up too, this is a separate recording session from the first part of the video. And I think I feel like I'm coming down with a bit of a cold. Hopefully it's just allergies acting up. I don't think my voice sounds all that bad, but it certainly feels scratchy, so we'll go as long as we can. Let's see what has changed. I want to explore everywhere, I think. Oh, there's a car here now. It's an Audi TT. Yeah, they got some money, I would say. Alright, nothing is popping up new anywhere else. But,
So the kitchen must be down the corridor there, if what Paul said is true.
right, that's what I was about to say. He told us about a new area that has now opened up for us. So, let's see what is to be found here. Okay. Lots of mugs. And vases. More dishes, tea kettles, plates. Flatware.
Interesting. Well, there's a TV right there with a DVD player. I don't think anyone will mind if I have a quick look at this.
Right. In general, triple X means pornography. But I guess we'll give it a watch. Oh, I have to go over to the TV? Hopefully not something I have to censor? What? So somebody stealing a wallet from a coat that's hung up? That's definitely somebody going through pockets. Okay, well, don't know that I would have classified that as triple X.
Well, that was odd. Looked like someone pickpocketing, but why make a video of it?
Right. Yeah, because from the point of view, it just about had to have been the person that was doing it, that was also videoing it. Okay, I guess we just start asking people questions. Is Ryan back in here? Okay, that's a big fat no, but this door is able to be accessed again.
Let yourself go. Feel your soul lifting. Then wait for the moment to break free. Then break free. Excellent, Hannah.
Well,
Could you come back later, please?
what's going on here?
Please, leave.
Sorry, Ryan, there's a few more questions I have to ask you yet, and time's ticking by.
Leave.
Okay.
I don't see Simon there, I don't think. In the circle. It's a very creepy little scene, though, that's for sure. Oh, is that a clue? Oh yeah, they were burning these little string dolls, weren't they? Did he come over here to talk to us? No. And we've also lost access to the doll burning room. Forget reading room, that's not what these people use it for. Oh, hello. A garage door opener? Or a key fob? What is that? Remote lock. Well, it opens something, doesn't it? Maybe even a safe. Interesting. Huh. Well, we want to go and talk to everyone. Let's just head down. Simon and Emma, especially since I didn't actually see Simon at the ceremony. Why was he... Well, I wonder why he wasn't there tonight.
A few more questions, if you don't mind.
Yes. There's a lot of new things. Well, not a lot, but a significant number of things for us to get informed about.
Have you seen this before?
No. No, sorry.
I will say, even if Simon's lying, he's certainly much better at it than Emma is, so...
What do you know about doll burning?
Not on the course. It's a ritual thing. It's getting rid of things that you don't need. Throw it into the fire.
And that's a good thing.
Well, yeah, it helps you getting rid of things you don't need, so you can move on and take control again.
So what are the masks for?
They're just to help you get into the right frame of mind. Just get you into the zone, help with the trance.
Makes you feel anonymous?
Yeah. It's like self-hypnosis. We do it on the course sometimes. It's just to help you get into the right frame of mind,
So you hypnotize yourself? How do you do that?
Just stare into a mirror and chant something, just say the same thing over and over again. Or you could just close your eyes and put yourself into a trance. Some people can do that.
And that's safe?
Well, yeah. Hypnosis doesn't work the way that most people think it does. You can't just be hypnotized if you don't want to be hypnotized.
That's true.
But you can learn to hypnotize yourself.
What did you say it was called? Auto-hypnosis?
Self-hypnosis, auto-hypnosis, same thing, really.
Auto-asphyxiation?
I think Simon was a bit too quick to play down the role of auto-hypnosis on the course. I'll have to ask around about this.
What other autos do the people on the course engage in? Autoerotic asphyxiation, perhaps? Can't ask about that. And he told us about that, so, sure. Goodbye. We're about to go talk to your lying girlfriend.
That's all for the moment. Thank you.
How about you tell us the truth from the start this time, please?
Have you seen this before?
No. Don't think so.
Unfortunately, I find myself distrusting every single thing that you say, Emma. Because you've lied so much, I may actually be reading into your expressions more than is there now. Ever burned a doll?
What do you know about doll burning?
Doll burning, I think, was something that they did on the course. Simon mentioned it.
Oh, they didn't do that when you were there?
No.
I don't know if I believe that. That may be something we can contradict. What about auto-hypnosis and other auto things?
Do you know what auto-hypnosis is?
It's some type of self-hypnosis, isn't it?
Yeah. Have you ever tried it?
No, I haven't. But I think Kate was into it. She learned it from when she went to Atlas.
And what did she tell you about it?
Not a lot, really. I think it helped her. I think she used it as a sort of self-meditation.
Didn't help with her drinking problem, though, did it? We still haven't gotten her to admit that she was attending Third Eye, have we? I'm pretty sure that was the course she was talking about. Maybe we'll need to get into that before we can contradict her assertions about not doing the doll burning. Alrighty.
Be back later on, if that's okay.
And now for Rebecca.
Couple more questions, if that's okay.
Are you into XXX pickpocketing, Rebecca?
Do you know anything about this?
No, sorry. Ask Ryan.
We tried. He was otherwise occupied with some creepy shit.
What do you know about doll burning at Atlas?
Only that it's part of the course. I'm not entirely sure what they're for, but I made dozens for him.
You made them?
Oh, Ryan can't make anything. He's practically dyspraxic.
For the exercise of throwing things away, like emotions or the past or whatever, wouldn't it be better if the students actually made them themselves? Though, whatever. I'm not getting into the insanity that is the Atlas and Third Eye Occult. Whatever it is. What about auto-hypnosis?
Do you know anything about hypnosis used on the Atlas course?
Are you sure you mean hypnosis or the power of persuasion?
What's the difference?
Not a lot. But if you want someone to do something, it's usually easier to ask nicely.
Atlas used persuasion techniques.
Well, don't all businesses use it, Inspector? Ever heard of advertising?
Yes, but we were specifically talking about auto-hypnosis as was described by a previous course member. In any event, thank you for your time.
Okay, that's it for now. Thank you.
Let's speak with James first, because I want to
Few more
stay
questions,
away
please.
from
Thank you.
Ryan's dad as long as possible. Yeah, Suspicious XXX DVD. You're into that, right, James?
Seen this before?
No, what is it?
Do you recognize it?
No. Should I?
I wonder why no one's commenting on the XXX that's written on there. Is there a different designation or rating that classifies pornographic material in Europe or in Great Britain? I'm not sure about that. If this was in America, every single one of these people would assume this was pornography, I think, because of that. What about doll burning? That's kind of similar to scrying, isn't it? It's in at least the same general area of knowledge.
What do you know about doll burning?
Doll burning? What sort of doll burning?
It doesn't mean anything to you.
No. Should it?
No, that's okay.
Wonder if he would have responded differently if we'd have said effigy burning instead of doll burning. Anyway, what about auto-hypnosis?
Ever heard of auto-hypnosis, James? Self-hypnosis.
Yeah?
And what do you know about it?
It's another name for scrying. Some people call it auto-hypnosis, I call it scrying.
Right. So you're saying scrying is just self-hypnosis?
Scrying? You can scry on anything. I don't use a mirror. I can scry watching the clouds. Maybe the water on a lake in the moonlight.
And when you're watching the water, what happens? You go into a trance?
You lose yourself in your unconscious. You go deeper and deeper. You swim around. Try not to go too deep. Because if you go too deep, you start drowning. Then you get dragged down to the bottom. As long as you stay swimming, come to the surface again. Then you wake up and see the world as it really is. It's like a journey to a place people talk about, but no one's ever seen. You're thinking about Kate, aren't you?
What makes you say that?
She bought a mirror. Sold her one last year.
Was she into using mirrors like that?
No idea. But she bought one.
Right.
James, I think that what you are calling scrying is what most people would describe as meditation. Of course, I could be wrong. So it was last year that she bought the mirror. I was under the impression from what Emma said that it was when they saw him at the whatever it was that she bought one. The flea market or the fair or whatever it was. Anyway, thank you, James. Guess we get to go talk to dear old Dad now.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
Alrighty, let's
Ask
brace
you a couple more
ourselves.
things, please.
You into this kind of stuff, Paul?
Seen this before?
The writing looks familiar, but no.
Whose writing is it? Just familiar? You don't really know who wrote this? Huh. What do you know about effigy incineration?
What can you tell me about doll burning at Atlas?
Not very much. It's one of Ryan's ideas. My son is under the illusion that he's a genius.
I kind of gathered that, but thank you for affirming our conclusion. What about auto-hypnosis?
Can you tell me more about the auto-hypnosis techniques used on the course?
We don't use hypnosis on the course.
Not at all.
Not anymore.
So, how was it used?
Hypnosis is probably the wrong word, Inspector. It's nothing to do with the trances or things like that. It was meant to force... to help students.
Did you force them?
You can't force anybody into being hypnotized. You have to want to be hypnotized. It's not something out of your control. You can't be hurt or damaged in any way by hypnosis.
So you've never put pressure on students to enter into hypnosis?
It would be impossible to do so.
I'm not sure that you were going to say forced students. Maybe something like force out thoughts or force out feelings or whatever. Anyway, that's very interesting. All right.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
Can we speak to Ryan now? Will he be through? I mean, the time hasn't advanced, but... Oh, to the lake? Whoa! That is the... That's the guy that was carving the sign into the tree, isn't it?
The DVD! That's all they took. It must have been deliberate. Someone clearly wanted that back. Nice and helpful of them to leave a piece of evidence behind, though.
Isn't it? Monarch... What? So someone stole the DVD. Monarch costumes. Isn't that where... Is it Paul? Ryan's dad, Paul, said that the mask was from Monarch costumes? And I'm almost certain that the guy who just stole that was the same guy that was carving the symbol into the tree. The jerk. Let's head on to Atlas. If that was him, then they're no longer in here because he was a part of that ceremony. I may be wrong, though. Couldn't see his face clearly. That looked like his build. Right, that's still inaccessible. Okay, so I guess we need to go and show this bag to everyone now. We'll start with Emma this time.
Just a few more questions, if you don't mind.
Ever seen a bag like this before?
Do you know the shop? Have you used it?
No, but I know where it is.
Alright, that was short and sweet.
That's all for the moment, thank you.
What about you?
Seen this? You know the shop?
Yeah, I know the shop. I hired something from them last year, I think.
This is for a party, I assume.
Yeah, something like that.
That was very suspicious. I don't know how to try any more out, but he looked a little uncomfortable about that. Okay.
Be back later on, if that's okay. Ask about a few more things, please.
Yes. This specifically.
Have you seen this before, anywhere?
Well, I know the shop, costume shop just outside the village.
Ever used it?
Not personally, but I think Ryan might have.
Shame we can't find Ryan to speak to him right now, isn't it?
Thank you. Probably be back later. Couple more questions, if that's okay.
Didn't you mention Monarch costumes to us? In regards to the mask?
Have you seen this before?
No, I don't think so.
You don't recognize the shop?
No.
Is there someone else who works at Atlas? Someone who may have been there tonight?
No. There's a cleaner. Comes at strange times, but then he's a strange boy. Work experience.
As a cleaner?
Well, we did try him in accounts, but it didn't work out.
Okay, who is this cleaner? And you, sir, just lied to us. I'm absolutely certain. Yes, you did.
Aha. Do you visit Monarch costumes a lot?
No. I used to go in there occasionally. Why?
But you do know the shop.
Yes, of course I do.
You see, Paul, I thought you said you didn't know where this bag was from.
Well, maybe I do.
This was used to put over my head, Paul, by a mugger. Would you like to tell me something?
Are you suggesting that I had something to do with your mugging?
Did you?
You really ask the most ridiculous questions. course I didn't.
So why did you lie about the shop?
Well, I didn't have anything to do with your mugging, Inspector, but I might know somebody who did.
Go on.
Did Ryan mention Jason to you as a cleaner? Unfortunately, Ryan at some point told Jason that the DVD mustn't be removed from the site. So, when he saw you take it, he simply thought that he was doing us a favor by getting it back. He isn't exactly what you'd call one of Darwin's best examples.
So what's on the DVD that's so special?
All right, it was something I did myself, a little stunt I pulled to amuse the students.
What kind of stunt?
I pretended to steal from the students. I emphasize the word pretended. The students knew all about it afterwards. Everything was above board.
Steal from students? Why?
We were doing a piece about pushing the limit, so I decided I would show them how it was done. Oh, don't look so serious, Inspector. I returned everybody's things immediately afterwards. No harm done.
And when was this?
Last year sometime.
At Third Eye or Atlas?
Third Eye, I think.
And this was before or after Liam died?
Well, since you'll probably find out anyway, it happened to be on the night that Liam died, as it happens. Before you ask, no, I didn't steal from him.
Do you think it's a good idea to encourage students to steal, Paul?
I wasn't encouraging students to steal. Policemen are so literal. Life is shades of grey, Inspector. Much as the Force might like it, it doesn't divide neatly into blacks and whites. Now, if you don't mind, you're going to have to excuse me for a moment. You know where the door is.
That was an interesting little monologue there.
I see he was quick enough to claim he didn't steal from Liam. What kind of stunt was that anyway? And Liam dying later the same night? It's just all a bit too suspicious.
I agree with that. I agree with Paul, too, that life is shades of grey. Not 50, but, several. Anyway, the fact that he berated Jenks for being too literal about stealing, I think it goes even further than that, though. He said it was an example of showing the students how to push the limits by showing them that what he meant by pushing the limits was stealing, and that encourages even more extreme behavior, doesn't it?